It's though in the afternoon. You know, I'm normally here at night, but we are here in the afternoon. I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm trying to get my other YouTube channel in on the mix. Thanks so much for the likes. Yes, I'm here early today. I'm here for to about 4:30. My time is 2:11. So we just gonna, chill. Try to get some stuff done. I got like uh 12 more rows to do on this red, and then I'll change colors to black. I hope you guys have had an awesome weekend. What's been going on with me? I just been in and out of being sick, and then right now I got a summer camp going on, and I'm also working on, other social media. So yeah, being really busy. And I've signed a contract with a company, so they have me contracted for like 30 days, and so I'm working that out too. Hi, Gavar. How are you doing this afternoon? Thank you, Jupiter. I've been working on this one on and off since February. I've made a lot of other stuff in between time though. But this is just a gift that I've just been, just working on it when I've had the time. I don't really have the time now, but I got two of these to get done by Christmas, and we're already in June, so I need to go ahead and get this one done. I tend to work better when I'm under pressure, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to get to November and be like, oh, let's push this second blanket out, because I only really do like two of these a year. I mean, one a year, and so this year I'll be doing two. So I just want to, strategically plan it and don't be looking crazy. Because I'm planning on making everybody have some scarves this year. So trying to keep this pen out the way. sometimes can be a whole nother art form itself. And trying to keep the blanket tucked under thing, because that's a whole nother thing too when it starts to drag the table. So this is I'm making this one 5 foot by 7 feet, and my kids are pretty tall, so I don't know how much more they're gonna grow. They're 5'7" and 5'9", so I just rather give them plenty of room. They're still young, so yeah. Hi Sheila, Chella. I forgot to link the Lazy Susan this time, but I got it from Home Depot. Hi Samantha. I got it from Home Depot, and I was trying to figure out why I didn't want to pick up off the table. Um, and you just go in there if you're someone who asks for help, ask them for the Lazy Susan appliance. I got a couple of O's. I'm doing good. How are you doing? I've collected a couple of old tires, and I'm very excited about it. And so I'm gonna turn them into some garden chairs or garden seats, not chairs, because they won't have a back. But you know, I'm excited to do that too. I'm just trying to figure out what to use for fabric. I know, it's fabric that people use for lawn chairs. But I'm like, do I use regular fabric, or do I try and just go the whole shebang and use yarn? Oh, happy birthday, Barbara. It sure does sound like some good weather. We just it just got through raining here. I hope your friend doctor's appointment went well. And that's good, you're doing good. I'm sorry to hear that, Barbara. I hope you are staying cool or able to stay cool. Cause I can't stand no power going out when it's hot outside. No problem, Barbara. That's good. Something water resistant. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it feels like. It's about 84 here. I'm glad it's about 72 because that's not too bad. I know it's warm over here. I was thinking, rain come in and cool it down some. It feel like extra stuff being and baked outside. Like God, did we just get a whole bunch of humidity instead of coolness? Hi, Vivian. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing? I'm not pushing all my pigs down. I'm trying to play, push them down as I go, apparently. All right, this is going to be row number 2, so that'll make 15. So I got 10 more to go. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, that's good. They're not staying off. Hi, Tayagi. Yes, yes, yes. The pen, I love the pen. It makes it a lot easier and faster, but it only does it with the E stitch. So, you know, I'm doing all E stitch so I can work it up fast. Ooh, that sounds fun. A teddy bear. I need to loosen that up a little bit. I love making plush toys and stuff. It just, makes me very happy. Something that once you finish has a smiley face, and it's like, yep, you did a good job. Hi, Isabel. I'm thinking about. I went to a very small farmers market this weekend. I think I'm gonna try and go to a different one this weekend. See what I find. See what kind of ideas I find, or if I'm able to like join and be a part of. Because um, I have a garden too, and I'm getting ready to start pickling. So that's another thing I have going on. I wish my nail would stop catching or whatever it's doing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with my mind and put a stitch marker in after this row. I might want to go ahead and do it because I get very excited. Hi, Margarita. I get very excited and I get to working, and then I'll be like, oh darn, I forgot to put the stitch marker in, and then it's too late. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this stitch marker in here so it'll make it easier to count. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I have to do 10 more rows. So once I make it to 5 more rows, I'll move this one and put it in the new place. Trying to figure out where I'm at. because the loom looks pretty much the same in the way you rotate it if it's horizontal. And I have to remember, like, wait, where was I at? Awesome. So that sounds like you're crocheting your the blanket you're working on. Thanks so much for the likes, y'all. I saw a blanket the other day that was crocheted and had paw prints in it, and now I want to do it. I'm like, this is gonna be my first crochet blanket. This has to be, and it's for free. The pattern is free. I think it was on Hobby, and so I'm gonna definitely check that out because I'm like, yes, this is like, this is me here. This is me. This is calling my name. Awesome. Up, no, I'm gonna go this way. And there's the train. Oh, snag the yarn a little bit. My nail keeps pulling on the yarn. That's gonna make me very annoyed. And I don't have a file to like make it stop. I probably have to fix this. Hi, Roseanne. I am using a number 4 yarn. This on here is Red Heart. Thank you. Now, once I give them this blanket, they're gonna have to wait for it to be lined because it's already a lot of work. Are you do you use a wrapping tool? Are you saying like maybe your stitches aren't tight enough or something? Hi, Anita. How are you doing this evening? I mean, this afternoon. I'm so used to being in the evening, y'all. So y'all might catch me saying good evening. I was supposed to go live Sunday night, and I was just like, I couldn't. And so then I rescheduled it for yesterday. And then yesterday was no go because I was trying to play catch up. And then I was like, let me just do it today. Oh, okay, so what I have in my hand right now is a wrapping tool, and so it's just reference to like anything that you use to maybe wrap your yarn around the pegs on the loom. And I'm just using an old clicking office pen. There are looming pens, but I just feel like you could just find a pen around the house, or like people have suggested straws. You can use a straw. Just anything pretty much other than your hand. I'm making just a black and white striped blanket, 5 foot wide blanket. Oh, okay, gotcha. I don't know. All I can say is we are our own worst critics. So maybe maybe there's not, maybe nothing's wrong with it. Maybe it's fine. Maybe you're seeing mine at a different angle than what you normally see yours. So it's probably the same. Oh, okay, gotcha. So it sounds like maybe it's too loose. Someone else was telling me that about theirs. It kept falling off. I don't know. Do you knit off your last peg before wrapping the rest before knitting off the rest of it? Hi, Purple Crochet. How you doing? That's the only thing I can think of. Cause I had somebody else with that same issues. They was like it kept jumping off, and um, they weren't knitting off on the last peg before they started knitting off on the rest of the stitches. So gotcha. Okay. Well, that's good. Don't give up. I believe you'll get the hang of it. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the kids tomorrow. I got a summer camp, so I'm thinking about. I think we're gonna make play magnifying glasses tomorrow. But I gotta find some. I probably got some plastic in here somewhere that I can use. Awesome, Samantha. I can't wait to see. I hope you share it so we can see your first blanket. My first blanket was a mess, but I refused to like start over anything. So I'm just like, well, I'm just practicing. So long as I can cast this blanket off, long as it has some link to it, I'm gonna make it work. And so I've had my original blanket since about 2021, I think. 2020 or 2021, I can't really remember. It depends on what you're doing. So right now I'm doing all Eastish. So this one probably will take me 80 to about 80 hours. And depending on the size too. So I'm not doing like the technical stuff I normally do to make a blanket. That would like take me even longer. So it might not even take me 80 hours to do it because I'm doing all Eastitch. But when I go to doing like um a garter stitch border and all this stuff, it takes like a lot of extra time. Cause for one, I don't even enjoy doing the garter stitch. Thank you for stopping in, Roseanne. I appreciate you. You said someone else has your name, Samantha. Bye. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out. Ah, okay. Yeah, I saw your name, Samikia. I need to get some crochet footies done, a baby doll, and a and a stash jar done. This green yarn is getting on my nerves. Awesome. I need to get started on beanies. I really do, cause fall will be here before you know it. We already in the early part of summer, and before I know it, it'll be cooling off again. Then I'll be like, dang it, I missed the window. I don't want to miss weather this year. I missed it last year. Like I didn't make any hats or scarves or nothing. I was so busy. So I think I'm gonna start my hats and scarves next month. Go down in there. I need you to go down. Trying to get this stitch marker to go down. Let me pull this down. So you back out of there. From Walgreens, and you can also get them from Amazon. They're called Neo G. They're my favorite ones. Any other ones I've tried like 3 or 4 different kinds. Yeah, about 4 different kinds. And I've always went back to these. They're fingerless. I have a sensory issue, so I can't stand gloves in between my fingers. So I have to wear these. Hi Sarah. I'm working on a 5 foot wide blanket. I'm doing early Christmas gifts. I got a second one of these to make. Thank you. And to be able to tell the difference between the two, I'm just gonna put their names on it. So once I take this off the loom, I'm gonna crochet the border, and then I'm gonna crochet some patchwork and cross stitch their name into the crochet, and then I'll sew it onto the blanket. Uh-oh, almost. Yeah, it's this. Okay, so it's not really early. if you like, if you ask somebody like making a blanket, this is like what this. I'm actually kind of late in the season. I started this in February, and I've had to stop like 50 times to make other stuff. So I had to stop in May because I had a lot of customs to get done before the end of May. And then April, I had an event coming. Well, I had an event in May too. Um, but yeah, uh, you can get this one from Amazon or the company's website, which is called knittingboard.com. If you look it up on Amazon, it'll be like you can still search up knitting board, but you can just search up KB Afghan Loom. The link is also in my bio. But yeah, so I've been working on this since February, and I've had to stop and do some baby blankets. I'm working on another baby blanket now. I've done some crochet plushies and all that stuff. So there's never really enough time to like, you know, not start early. And then I got some. I'm planning on doing hats and scarves this year, so that's another thing I charge myself with making, and they'll be gifts too. So I have to find time to get those done too. Hi, Holiday. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Yeah, so I was thinking about doing like between 10 and 20 hats and scarves. And yeah, trying to get all that done plus get blankets done. It's gonna be something interesting because I got other events to plan for too. Now I'm gonna go back this way. At the event, and then I get sick a lot, so I have to account for all that. So this would have been done had not gotten sick too. I'm using number 4. Like my first blanket took me a month to get done, and I was working on it 3 days a week, for about 3 hours a day, and I have not nearly done a lot on as much as I did that one. I couldn't carve out the time to like, cause I'm like, this is a gift, so I'm not carving out time to be like, oh my god, before Christmas, let's get this done. I'm just like, whenever I can get it done, or get some time to work on it. Oh, thank you, Samikia. I appreciate that. Yes, it goes faster with heavier yarn. That's why when people ask me, like, how long does it take to make a blanket, that's why I forgot to mention earlier. You can do number 5 and number 6 yarn on here. Um, I'm not a big fan of putting thicker yarn on here, but I might try it one day. I've seen other people do it, and so they really enjoy it. For me, I like to stick to one consistency, and yeah, I don't like to constantly adjust to different weights. So I went about like one of those green wide gauge looms, infinity looms. So whenever I make thick blankets, I put it on the green loom instead of this one. But it can be done on here too. And so that'll make it, work up even faster with thicker yarn. Maybe I probably wouldn't use like number 5 too fast and letting this blanket yarn feel. If it's number 5 that feels like an extra thick number 4, there I've used that on here and I didn't really enjoy it. But I think the blanket yarn, since it's so fluffy, it gives a little bit more give, so it'll work better. Number 5 yarn is like 2 strands of number 4. Thank y'all so much for the likes. All right, that is 2 rows. Three more rows and we'll be at 20, and then I need to do 5 more for 25. I'm using a number 4, and I was saying that you can use a number 5 and number 6. Number 6 will work up even faster. I recommend it over a number 5, because working with number 5 on here is like working with like a double strand number 4, and it gets a little annoying. I haven't tried a number 6, but most people talk about they love them, putting number 6 on here. I'm not a big fan of putting thicker yarn on here. I got wide gauge looms too, and I think this one is technically a wide gauge, but I just prefer to go even wider. Once I finish wrapping this row, I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. My hands keep wanting to jump, skip a peg. Alright, so I needed that off. This is what I'm talking about. See if you see beside each other that is a wide. This is a wide gauge. So I just prefer to put all of my blanket yarn, thick yarn, whatever, on here than on here. And even though it's even longer than the white loom, I knew that was gonna fall up. Even though it's even longer than the white loom, it'll still end up being 5 feet in length. Well, since I have this, not so much, but I have to point out that I have a pinched nerve in my right shoulder and arthritis in my neck. So, for the most part, I do pretty well. I just have a couple of headache days or whatever, so I'm still getting that ironed out. But you know, it's kind of like I can't really avoid it. That's the reason why I said that. Hi, Francisca and Kathleen. Oh, you have the green one? Yeah, like the green one using number 4 yarn. It will it'll give spacing. If just in case anybody is wondering, because I've had a couple of those. A couple of people ask me about that too. So I use blanket yarn on that one or number 5 yarn. And it works up fast. So I'm like, I'm not going to put any blanket yarn on here because I know I can go just pick that up and work up a blanket real fast. The only thing about the green one is its S is shaped differently. I don't like that it's going to a different direction. No, I didn't do a garter stitch border on this one. This one is all E-stitch. I'm trying to work it up fast. So it's just a gift, so I'm just working it up fast. I'm not doing like the garter stitch or anything. When I take it off, I'll do a crochet border. Yep, me too, Kathleen. I got one green one that's very similar to your blue one, and I got 3 white ones, and I always go for the white. But I need to stop just going for the white because I do need to try and make some extra thick blankets so they'll work up faster. Or just attempt to put put some number 6 on here for the first time. I don't know. I already broke a peg on one loom and a peg on the other loom. And so I'm just like, I probably shouldn't be putting anything more on it than it can handle. Yep, I got one of those rotating ones too. And if you get some clamp, there's some, I don't know where I put mine at. There are some little things that you can put on your rotating loom to set this on top of it. I just got to find out what I did with mine. Someone sent it to me as a gift, and if you put it's like some type of clamp thing, and you put it on your rotating loom, you can set this one on top of it, from my understanding. Or you can put your other round looms on it. Oh, I got some flexi type looms. I probably only use once that you can put together. They're too difficult for my hands. I'm struggling with the flexi looms, so I might not use them. Um, like that's kind of difficult. People be so upset. I think the last one I made of this, cause I just did, I think like it. I'm just gonna say at least 150. I'm making a 5 foot wide blanket. Thanks so much for the likes, y'all. But I'm starting to feel like I need to start lining mine, but that's gonna make the blanket extra hot. But so, cause I know people don't like their toes. Yeah, I get it. That's why I don't be in a hurry to like sell them because you're not gonna really get the time that you put into them. And that's why I only really do about one a year. When some I, if I'm just making some, like let's say I'm just making this blanket. Hi Ursula, how are you doing this afternoon? If I'm just making a blanket, like I'm just making this one. So for me, if it's not custom, then I'm not gonna charge like a custom price. I'm gonna charge like a. I was just making this blanket one day, and I was gonna end up making it anyway. So I'm not gonna charge you for never really charge you for the time and stuff that I put into it, because I did it out of just really just pure fulfillment and joy. So I won't charge like the amount um, that I would charge for a custom. Because customs, I had to dig for colors, and they don't always, they aren't always variegated yarn and all that stuff. So variegated yarn works up a lot faster. Changing colors is annoying. Um, the simplest way. Now, if you're concerned about pricing, Ray, I would go on Etsy. I do back. I do checking with Etsy to kind of give me a gauge because I have ADHD, so it stuff in the first place. So that's another frustrating. It's like it already takes me forever to make stuff, and then I can't really. I don't feel like I can charge for that because that's something that I have to deal with. But yeah, the simplest way to change color is to basically just create a slip knot wherever you want to change color, and then put it on the peg where you want to change colors at, and then just start wrapping again. That's one, two, three. I need to do two more. And I'll change colors before I get off live. It's just taking me a while because I got to do so many stitches in so many in the rows. I swear it's just it be the monster sometimes. Sometimes it is a beast when you're, especially if you're doing like custom stuff and people making requests. It's like, darn it, you gotta coach your mind into like getting its stuff together. Like, get it together. And then I'm a person that will last minute a deadline. I'm last minute a deadline now. I suppose I gotta have these socks done, but in my mind I keep saying, "Oh, that's not gonna be a problem. That's gonna work up really fast." And then I'm just like, "Stop doing that. Just go ahead and finish the socks." Like, I know you have plenty of time, but just finish the socks. And then people keep asking for patterns and stuff, and then like once I finish something, if I had to make it up on my own and stuff, the hardest part is writing a pattern because it's just like I just winged it the whole time through, and now you want me to basically go back and revisit all the wing. So the really there was, I don't know, it'd be kind of messy, but I figure it out. It's like, you know trying to put organize some together after just being all over the place. I'm sorry, Odia. I don't know what you're saying, but I will address like the common questions that get asked when someone comes in. I'm working on a blanket, a 5 feet wide blanket, and this loom is, you can get it from Amazon or knittingboard.com. Um, it goes up to 5 feet, but if you do the 10 stitch, you can make any size that you would like. Yep. Now I don't, because I've been doing customs and have people rely on me. I've been more apt to finish. I normally have that problem. Like if it's for me, I have a hard time finishing it. But if I'm making something for someone else, or I feel like I'm making it for someone else, I'm more than likely to finish it. But comes when it comes down to me, I just be like, I ain't got time. I ain't got time to finish that project. I done had a basket weave blanket sitting on the loom for over 2 years now, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go ahead and frog that and start up. I done got another idea, but I'm still gonna use the basket weave stitch. Alright, I gotta do, I think I just gotta do 5 more. One, two, three, four, nah, 6 more. I ain't doing too bad. This next row make 20 and then I gotta do 5 more. And have I forgotten to do 25 in a row? I sure have. But did I frog it? Nope. Can you really tell? Not really. But I try to do as minimal of color change as possible when I'm working a blanket, because when I go to weaving ends, I'm not interested in weaving in a whole lot of ends. So, hi Athena. Athena, how are you doing this afternoon? Hi, hi Delia. How are you doing this afternoon? Yes, yes, Athena. All right, I do that too, and I'll be like, wait. So I have to tell myself like multiple times, okay, we're at this row, we're on number this, we're on number that, so do not go over this row, okay? I have to constantly talk to myself like we're on this count, do not go past this. Hi, Teresa. How are you doing this evening? I'm using a number 4, and this is red heart. And I'm using red heart because it's the most vibrant red I've found. I haven't really found any um, vibrant reds in number 4 like this, so that's the reason why I chose red heart. Hi, Joseph. How are you doing this afternoon? Even mainstays wasn't as vibrant as this, but I am using the mainstays. I'm working on Winnie the Pooh blanket too, and I'm using mainstays red for the shirt color. I'm gonna deck out some Winnie the Pooh, so I'm making a baby blanket to match. Excuse me, the crochet plushie I made. And then I'm gonna make some baby booties in like the yellow orange color that I use, and I'm gonna make some in red. Then I'm planning on making a diaper cover, and someone was suggesting a bib, so I'm gonna try those. But those will be in like a cotton or either cotton or bamboo. No problem, Kathleen. So that's my plans. And oh, and I forgot, I might do a beanie too. I hadn't really thought of a beanie. And then my cousin wants me to make some to donate, so I gotta remember to make some baby blankets to donate. Hopefully, Well, I'm gonna line it with, if they decide they want it lined, I'm gonna line it with some fleece um, fabric, and hopefully that'll work. All right, this is the fifth row, so that's gonna be 20. And when I wrap this, I think I'm gonna try and move that stitch marker up so that I can keep up with it real quick. And then we'll change colors once I get past that point. Hi, Janet. How are you doing this afternoon? I hate when I do something once and when I do something wrong once, I instinctively do it wrong about 2 or 3 more times before I'm like, okay, we're back on track. Who is on the phone? No, no, no. No, no, no. I'm about to pull my phone down. It's a phone call. Hold on. I rolled back in my chair rolled over my charger. I got one of those 6 feet charger, and I gotta make sure I didn't roll my phone off. Hi, Bammies. How are you doing this afternoon? From Alaska. Awesome. I'm from Arkansas. It's a little net flying around here. I'm not interested. Okay. I'm trying to remember. After this, I say I was gonna put a row counter, a row marker on here, signifying row 20. Gosh. I snagged that real good. That was painful. Oh. Now, when I start my rows, they are tight, but what helps me is wrapping fast. When I wrap faster, it's less time to think about um what I'm doing, so I'm doing less tugging. So maybe try wrapping fast. That might help some. I also rap fast. I started rapping fast because I had to trick my mind into feeling that this wasn't taking forever. When I would work on something big, it's like, oh, you're zooming around it when you're rapping it. But essentially, it's 198 pegs on here, so I'm just like, I'm starting to tell myself that too. It's 198 pegs. What do you really expect? So and now that I've gotten so used to it, I've set into the groove of it now. But yeah, I started rapping fast to convince myself that it wasn't taking forever. All right, that is one, two, three, four, four, five. I mean, all right. Let me see if I can take this off without fighting with it. Oh crap! I picked up some more yarn. Looks like in another spot. All right, this is gonna signify 10 more. Smooth it right here. And I always do mine towards the further end. I'm trying to stretch it and fix that stitch. I do mine like a couple pegs in because I can't. It starts to scrunch up right here, and I can't really count the stitches from right there. So I just rather move the stitch marker further in on the blanket so I can keep up with the stitches by the ladder thing that it forms in the back. I only got 5 more to do. 5 more to do. Five more and then change color. Then mine used to jump off the loom a lot too. So I've managed to, when I wrap fast, that helps a lot too. It helps keep from jumping a lot. I also keep yarn in this hand at all times so I can feel the tension. So if it's like kind of tugging, I kind of know like, oh, this is a little bit tight, coming out of the yarn thread. I mean, out of the skein. And then also, if it's too loose, my hand is still controlling the tension right here with this hand too. It looming. It's called looming. I gotta stop it and get this knot out of here, or it feels like it was trying to start a knot. There we go. No problem. Hi, Linda and Marta. I'm trying to keep this from messing up by the time I'm ready to. Oh, be careful, girl. I do want to knit off before you pop off. All right. I need to start using the blanket for rotation because it's starting to be too tall. Let me roll it up a certain way to keep me from having to constantly move it. I mean, like raise it up too far. All right. Let's follow that over there. Oh man, why not? Why you never used them, Linda? I'm sorry, Giovanna. I can't see what you're saying. All right, so this should help me more with having to raise it up some, because it's more organized. But I'm using a KB Afghan loom. I'm just gonna answer the questions that I normally, in general, ask. It goes up to 5 feet, but if you do the 10 stitch method, it can go up to even bigger. Um, I'm working on a 5 foot wide blanket, but you can do a lot of different things on here. You can do sweaters, scarves, um, tube socks, hats, blankets, some of everything, dress. Come on, go over. And I got it from Amazon, or you can get it from knittingboard.com. The company is Knitting Board. You don't know what to make. I would say if you never, since you never used it before, I would make something small and use variegated yarn. Variegated yarn always does the trick. So if you're struggling to start on this one and you just want to start somewhere, I make my baby blankets from 125 pegs, and I use using variegated yarn will be like, while you're working it up, it's like, oh, I didn't expect that. So if you're a beginner, variegated yarn, something small. Thank you, Maria. I keep saying Amazon because honestly, I got two from Amazon and one from Joann's. And Joann's gone now, so at the event of mentioning Joann's, I just try to make sure I mention all places we could get it from. Hi, Apple Mango. How are you doing this afternoon? Hi, Sheila. How are you doing this afternoon? So I'm doing 25, just in case y'all are curious. I'm doing 25 in red, 10 in black. And I only did that so I can change color as least as possible. Yeah, they come with patterns, but the patterns that they come with are they require a little bit more experience. Like, let's say if you've been like maybe loom knitting already, the patterns won't be such an issue. But if you haven't, they're asking, like, when I went in there, it was like a basket weave one. I can't remember what the other ones was. I think they were like garter stitch, all each stitch, and then a garter stitch border. So they have like maybe 3 patterns that come in it. Or never mind, you're talking about online and stuff. There's a lot of videos online for I need to do a few more myself for there's some patterns on YouTube. And there's patterns on knittingboard.com as well. So if you don't know, like you're curious about patterns and stuff, knittingboard.com has free patterns for their looms. Awesome, Samikia. That's the best kind of use. All right, that's one row. Four more to go. And neither on all the blankets that I'm working on don't have aren't variegated yarn. I've gotten used to it now, but I still want to like make some more variegated one. I got one sitting over here on the table. If y'all want to see how like I normally make them, not like demonstrated, but a visual of how they normally look when I do it the way that I would normally do it. Well, that's one. This is row two. Uh-oh. I hate when all my stitches don't go down because I be like, I pushed them all down. Computer, can you stop cutting off today? Can you stop timing that on me? I'm I don't know yet because I haven't done like a 7 foot blanket, but I'm just going up to 7 feet. I don't really count rows anymore. I just say I'm going to go up to a certain feet, and I kind of gauge like, oh, that looks like I'm, getting close to what I'm like my fifth or 6 foot, and so then I go to measuring with my tape measure, and then I'm like, okay, well, you know, this this like I'll take this and be like, oh, okay, so I need to go like 3 more inches, or however many rows this will get me. But I'm doing 25 rows and then 10 rows in black. So this right here it give me about 6 inches or 5 inches, So that kind of helped me with the gauge. Hi, Haster and Ebony. How are y'all doing this afternoon? So I'm just going by the thickness of this and deciding on how many rows. So I really won't know the amount of rows until like I decide to take it off, because I don't have to go up to 7 feet either. I just have to um go up to like a little under 7 feet, and then crochet the border, because the crochet border will give me like that extra couple of inches that I'm gonna need. So right, it's been a minute. I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? So yes, yeah, I don't count rows. I avoid that because I don't like counting from the start, and to count like over 350 rows, because that's what it usually takes me to do like a 5 foot wide, I mean 5 foot long blanket would be like 350, 360 rows, and I can't stand trying to keep over rows. That just takes more time out of what you know out of the work, or make it like even more annoying. Cause it's like, oh, there's one more thing I gotta do. What's a Naxos? What you said, Ebony? Say that again. Backing. I normally don't do backings, but I said I'm gonna start doing that this year. So once I give them this as a gift, I'm gonna ask them to let them like kind of get the feel for a minute, and then I just if you want me to line it, let me know, cause I I'm just gonna tell them that I'll line it after the fact. But if they're fine with the way it is, I'm not gonna go through all that extra trouble of lining it if I don't have to. No problem, Linda. Thank you, Aminda. Thank you guys so much for the likes. I appreciate it. So whenever I'm like making stuff, I'm the least amount of mental um, work I have to put into this, the better. It makes like my life easier, less frustrated, and everything. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to avoid any mental configuration. So I'm not gonna count it. I'm not trying to see nothing. I'm just like, let's just get this show on the road. I swear it is hot. It is really hot here. I'm just glad it's been raining because I don't have to water my garden. But yeah, it's hot. Right, right. Less stress. Anyway, to decrease the amount of stress. So if I'm just making it out of fun and then I decide to take it to an event, I don't charge for my time because I'm just like, I was gonna enjoy making it anyway. But if it's custom, I'm gonna charge for like the materials. I'm not gonna charge for a lot of my time because I have ADHD. So it takes me a lot longer because certain things that I'm doing when I'm making like a technical blanket. A technical blanket is like where I'm doing like everything that I need to do because it's a custom. Um, it's gonna take me longer because I get very bored very easily. Let me pull up that blanket so I can explain. Thank you, Ebony. So I'm this one. This one is less busy. The other one is busy. So this one, for example, like on this one, I'm not doing this method. And honestly, this part of this blanket takes me 2.5 hours. And this because I'm bored, I'm not very interested in it, and I'm just like, can we just get this over with at this point? So this alone takes me 2.5. Now, when I get to this area, from this comparison to this comparison, from this from here to about here or here, this takes me 2.5 hours. So it just depends on what stitches that you're doing on like the it's just different. You're watching YouTube at night, and it's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty late. Let me follow this back up. But yeah, so it's so much like that goes into like the way you make certain blankets and stuff. So you just you can't really predict it. But I try. I also go on Etsy. I go on Etsy and reference prices too, because I know it takes me forever. So I'm just gonna be like, let me hop over here and kind of meet in the middle. Let's meet in the middle on the price, and because I know it takes me forever. Thank you, Linda. But if it's something that I'm just making, like because I'm just making this, and let's say I decide to, oh, I'm gonna take this to a craft event with me, then I'm not gonna charge like what I would for a custom, because I was just already making it. Yeah, it'll still roll on the sides. But the good thing about it is, I started crocheting on knitted stuff before I knew how to crochet officially. So if you decide that, oh, you decide to e-stitch all of it, and let's say you want to crochet a border, it won't be that hard to add crochet to the border. Like, I started crocheting on plushies first. I find events through my chamber of commerce, or places or cities like you're willing to travel to. Look up their chamber of commerce and see, do they have any events going on. And then you can, whenever you go to events, let's say you decide you don't want to do it this year and you want to do craft fairs still, you can go to craft fairs and just have conversations with people and say, I'm interested in selling things, and they'll be pretty honest with you. Other crafters will vendors will be honest with you and tell you other places that um the chamber of commerce won't be able to tell you, so you can find events that way. I've also found events on Facebook, in their events area, and I look up local. And if I decide I want to travel far, I'll just be like, across the state, kind of. I'll just look at places across the state. Cause I just recently had something pop up for another event that popped up that I wasn't looking for, and I was like, oh, that seems, nice and cool. Oh, cool. That's awesome. My sister just got into embroidery. I'm more like a I'll chill and not I'll do like some hand cross stitching type stuff. Only because I've gotten enough crafts that I'm not gonna buy another machine or something. I'm trying to keep myself from buying anything else. I just not too long ago got a heat gun, and I'm just now using it. I got it about a month or so ago. Oh, cool. That's cool, Linda. Hi, Annalisa. How are you doing this afternoon? Thank you guys so much for the likes. All right, I got three more rows. Three. Because if I don't continue to say it, I'm gonna be so annoyed putting in extra work where I don't need to. Three more rows. And that's about the time that I said I thought I was in my head. I said 4 o'clock. I'll probably be done with red. But it's looking like I might go over just a little bit. Okay, we're on number 3. Hi, Elda. How are you doing this afternoon? I'll be missing these spots, so. Hi, Mine Girl. Minecraft. I'm sorry, Elda. I can't see what you're saying. So what I'm just gonna answer the questions that normally get asked when I'm on live. I am working on a 5 foot wide blanket. This is loom knitting. It's a looming is a form of knitting, and I got this loom from Amazon, but you can get it from Knitting Board website as well, because this is a um, KB brand loom. Um, it's a little harder. I do knitting needles as well, but I don't do them as often. I always run and pick this up. But a lot of people find this tedious too. It's easier, but it feels more tedious than knitting needles. But it's easier than knitting needles. Hey Kelly, I hope your day went well. Everything is good with me. Thanks for asking. I hope it went well and I hope it continues to go well. That's good. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, most people, oh, thank you, Samikia, for joining my members. I appreciate it. Most people who have experience with knitting needles really typically do not like this. So I'm just gonna put it out there. If you're very experienced on the knit needles, they typically do not like this. Okay, Kelly. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I've been doing a summer camp this week, so I went into work just about 2 hours, and I'm working with some preschoolers. They have been very entertaining to say the least, but they help me to be a big kid as often as I would like. So we've been doing like those brain break videos and dancing a lot and doing arts and crafts. We're doing a safari thing this week. My first camp during the earlier part of the month, we did the Hungry Caterpillar camp. Right. I'm trying to decide because I got a crazy idea, but I'm trying to decide how to implement it. Mm-mm-mm-mm. No problem. I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. All right, so I'm thinking 4:15. No later than about 4:15. We'll be done with the red, and that's on the more expensive side. That's I'm in a generous side. All right, that's three. I gotta do two more. Oh, bump my elbow. I didn't mean to bump it. I meant like make a loud bump. My bad. Uh oh. I almost forgot where I was for a second. Cool. That sounds like that's gonna be a fun trip. I hope we get to go on a trip this year for Christmas. We haven't been on vacation in a good little while. Hi, Amanda. Right. I love going during Christmas time, or at least finding a beach during Christmas time. It's like at the right temperature and off season. We try to go once a year too, but I know we haven't went anywhere in a minute. I don't think we've been anywhere since last spring. But no, it might have been last, not December 2024 Christmas, but I think Christmas of 23. We haven't had a vacation since. Yeah, it typically, if I'm doing like a 5 foot long one, it'll typically take me, well, I'll just say my first blanket took me a month, but I was only working on it 3 days a week for about 3 hours. Maybe 6 weeks, no more than 6 weeks. I've kind of quit keeping up with the how long it takes me because I have ADHD. So I just be like, what's the point? Because I'm just like, I could never really charge for the amount of time that I spend on it. So I quit keeping up with the time. Oh, okay, that ain't bad. I'm trying to talk my kids into flying. They don't want to do. They're so such thick in the mud. I don't know. They don't want to. They don't want to fly. They don't want to. Or maybe it's just the oldest one. He's such an old soul. Don't want to fly. He don't want to go on a cruise. I'm just like, oh my goodness. He's just like he's always a let's play it safe. But I do like road trips because I like scenery. But every once in a while, it'd just be nice to like fly on an airplane. Right. Well, no, I can't say that because I like scenery. I'm a big nature person. I'm hippie at my core. free spirit nature at McCord. See, I'm never driving really either. I only drive when it's like in an extreme case. My husband drives everywhere. Y'all got about 30 minutes left. Well, under 30 minutes, because I'm not going to be on here like till 5, because I got to go get my husband from work. This computer keeps getting on my nerves. Oh, that ain't bad at all. Hi, Alina. How are you doing this afternoon? Let me hurry up and get this one row in so I can change colors before I get off live. Alright, cause that 1, 2, 3, 4. One more row. And then what I like to do once I made it to that row, I'm just gonna start pushing stuff down right here because I'm once I made it to like the last row before color change, I just go ahead and cut it off because the string starts to get annoying being in the way. All right, so wrap, wrap, wrap. I'm going to do some pickles this weekend. Can't wait to do that. I'm in Arkansas. Thank you. Does the weather feel good? Pretty good up there. 'Cause it is stuffy down here. Cool, Kathleen. Let me cut this off before I get to keep going, cause that's gonna be annoying. Oh, ooh, I cut that too long. It'll be okay. I got extra red. We're fine. I'm gonna recycle you somewhere. I didn't mean to cut it that long. Oh, that's warm. That's what we got down here. Hi, Rima. I bet it is, Tamikia. I bet it is. We went to San Antonio during Christmas time, and well, December, and that was very nice. The weather was awesome. I'm making a 5 foot wide blanket. Let me get my black. It's not that far away. Thank you. You can um you can make a blanket on the head loom, Angela, without having to sew it. Hi Aria. How are you doing this afternoon? And you can like do the 10 stitch method so you don't have to sew anything up. So you don't necessarily have to have this loom to make a blanket. And I've never done the 10 stitch method, but a lot of people, well, people I've heard about it, they rave about it. That's good. You're doing good. Oh, I did 415 like I said I'll do, y'all. So I'm gonna have time to do one more row because I know I'm gonna have to thread this pin and then wrap. That's why I hate changing colors. So it's like using 10 pegs on the loom, and it looks like it's mostly garter stitch, but you like wrap it a certain way to where it's continuous. Thank you, Aria. My leg will start to act like it's getting tired from sitting after I say, "Oh, I'm about to get off." You can wait just a little while longer. I'm sorry, Rima. I can't. I don't understand what you typed in. Uh oh. Come on. Come on. We in the home stretch. Don't start making mistakes. Like I said, when I started to make mistakes, I keep making them. So now, what I'm struggling with right now is snagging yarn. So stop snagging the yarn, child. Like I'll keep doing it automatically for a little bit. So I just keep recognizing that I'm doing it and telling myself to stop. Yay. We're 25. Alrighty, so there's that of red. Let's cast this black on. Come on. Alright, move this red out the way. Oh, whoop. Crap. Keep dropping yarn back here. Let me just a second, y'all. Where are you? Where are you, middle? Why is this like this? We're not gonna do that today. Let's do this nicely and not out the way. Come on.